Alright guys, now this channel, in case you didn't realise, it's called World Class Happiness, off the back of this book that I wrote called World Class Happiness. We obviously talk a lot about happiness and how to maintain happiness, talk about mindset and stuff like that, but I relate a lot of my videos to martial arts just because I am a martial artist, formerly been a high-level judo competitor. I was a British judo champion in 2001, won various things over the years, but I'm not here really to talk about me as such. I'm relating it to how we think in general. Okay, now something you will definitely relate to, possibly if you're into it, is the UFC. At the weekend we had the fight between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor, which Dustin Poirier done really well to win, and he won it was a rematch. The fight previously had taken place in 2014, which Conor McGregor won on his way to being the biggest name in the sport probably ever, and then obviously a lot of years have passed and he got the rematch and obviously won the rematch by knocking Conor McGregor out. First time Conor McGregor has actually been knocked out as opposed to being submitted. He has lost before, but that was a big deal. Okay, now off the back of that, I've been seeing lots of interviews with some high level kind of fighters and interviewers and people who have been involved in MMA for a long time, plus fans and casual fans, you know, looking at comments and stuff, and you know, majority of them are saying that Conor McGregor he's obviously talking about the ring rust and stuff because he's been out for a while, which is, you know, Conor talked about that himself, so that is definitely something to consider. But a lot of people are sort of saying that because he's such a high-level businessman now, he's got the whiskey brand and he's got several things going on, people are sort of talking about, you know, he's maybe not as invested in fighting as he used to be. He's now a father, he's got all these things going on, and I agree that some of these things could play a part in his performances and stuff, but from what we've heard from his camp, as in like his coaches and his training partners and stuff like that, what we've been hearing for the last probably 2 years is that Conor McGregor has been training non-stop at a good level. You know, he's been really working hard, he's been disciplined, everything's been correct, and his weight is on point and all those sorts of things, and all things that we should respect about a fighter, really. And what that tells me is that it's possibly just the layoff, you know, the actual competitive side that has maybe been missing, as opposed to the discipline, because there's been lots of hints by people that maybe he's not bothered. He's got probably hundreds of millions in the bank. I don't know how much he's worth these days, but people are talking about he's got 100 million in the bank or whatever it is, and he's gone soft and he's not really kind of taking it as seriously as he did. But as I said, from people who are close to him, that's been almost the opposite. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because as a judo competitor myself, I won the British Judo Championship in December 2001. All right, now I'm not telling you this to kind of big myself up. What I'm telling you this for is that because I won in 2001, possibly slightly unexpected at the time, I really wanted to win 2002 in order to kind of cement the kind of feeling that maybe I belonged as number one. And in 2002, during a year, I'd sort of, you know, it's been between me and another guy to go to the Commonwealth Games, because I was English and he was English, and he was one of the guys who I beat the previous year at the British Championship, and he got the spot because in the run-up to the Commonwealth Games, he had thrown the Olympic silver medalist and he got the place, rightly so, and he actually won the Commonwealth Games. So he went, and I really was determined to make a big name for myself going into 2002 British Championships, which is obviously the December again. I wanted to kind of really cement my or kind of stamp my authority on the group, and I was a bit of a late bloomer as well, so I you know, probably people may have thought at that point I was maybe past my best or not going to really become anything, and I had other plans, and I went to France. I went to Paris on my own. My coach actually sent me out there, and he sent me to one of the hardest clubs in Paris, and I was training out there for 5 weeks on my own, staying in a hotel. Literally, I didn't go out with anyone, I didn't go out with any teammates, I didn't go out with any coaches. I was just there on my own, staying in a Formula One hotel. If you know those hotels, you know that there's nothing in them at all. Obviously, there was a TV, because we're not talking that long ago, but it was all kind of in a foreign language. There was nothing to watch. It was before the days of iPhones and stuff like that, so there was nothing really to look at on a phone, except playing Snake, possibly, which can get boring after about 10 minutes. So I was in my room, I was reading, and all I had to do really for five solid weeks was train and focus on my competition, really, which was coming up in the December. And I can honestly say I put 100% into everything. I was so focused, I worked so hard. Technically, I worked on stuff. I had the best training partners and the toughest fights leading up to it, and everything was perfect. I didn't skip anything. I was really disciplined about everything. And I went to the 2002 event, and my first fight, I was drawn against a lad who was good, but he was somebody who I was perhaps expected to beat. He was a little bit younger than me, sort of coming through. I expected to beat him, and we gripped up. For those of you who don't know, judo is like wrestling, but with judo kits on, and the idea is to throw each other on the back. So I gripped up, he gripped up, and he literally threw me flat on my back within 10 seconds, probably 8 seconds or something silly like that. And that was it. And that was it. It wasn't my day over. I actually come through the rep charge, and I did actually manage to win a bronze. I did actually have quite a good day, but I messed up. And I'd done okay. I did okay, but really it didn't go to plan. It didn't go how I thought it would. Obviously, I went under the radar because I did get a bronze, and nobody really made a big thing about it. Nobody really thought too much of it. And, probably people said the same thing as maybe they're saying about Conor. Not obviously at the same level, but people were possibly sort of writing me off and sort of thinking, well, he fluked it last year or whatever. And I can actually tell you the work that I put in leading up to that event and before, and then again after, didn't go to waste, because I can guarantee, like the start of the following year, I felt like I was on fire. I felt like I was really, really good and strong, and it was about, I think it was the May, and I felt everything was just clicking into place. And I was actually at a British squad training session. I felt like I was having probably the best day I'd ever had in training. It's training, I know that's not a big deal, but everyone was there who were my competition, my competitors, or my rivals, and I was just going through them all like a knife through butter, really. And I just felt so smooth, and everything felt like it was just clicking into place. Mentally, I was good, and I kind of felt that was my time. That was my time where I was then going to start taking over. And unfortunately, I ruptured the cruciate ligament in my knee right at the end of the session, and then that put me out. Kind of, getting on for a year. I did compete within the year, and I did actually win, but in terms of my confidence and getting back to normal, and I'd certainly lost ground more than anything, fitness wise and confidence-wise, and I didn't come back the same. And I did have plans to try and get back for the Olympics in 2004, but I just wasn't at that level at that point because I'd just lost ground. And yeah, that was kind of hard to take. But my message today, really, I know I'm going around the houses a little bit, but my message really is that hard work, regardless of whether you see the results at the time, it doesn't go to waste. All right, there will be a time later on that you'll see the results, and you might not get people on board to start with. You might have people doubting you. You might have people, obviously in Conor McGregor's case, will just be giving him a hard time on social media, on YouTube, and these people, to be honest, most of them are going to be people who have never done anything in their lives, never stepped up to anything, never gone for anything or tried anything new or tried to achieve anything big, and they're slating him. Fair enough, there's people on social media and YouTube who are also high level fighters, but I was a good level fighter, you know, in my own right, and I can guarantee that sometimes things don't pay off straight away. And from my experience, there's still a good chance for Conor McGregor to come back and have some really top performances, get a bit of a run with kind of time in the cage. I think he'll come back. A lot of people are writing him off and saying he's done, he's finished, he didn't look the same guy. A lot of people saying it's because he's being too friendly and nice. I don't believe that. I just believe that a little bit of ring rust, and I believe that he will come back better than ever, to be honest. And, you know, watch this space. Just see if I'm right. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I'm just going off of the experience that I had. I think there's going to be a better Conor McGregor coming in the future. And I know a lot of people don't like that and don't agree with that and won't back me on that, because a lot of people don't see through the whole hype and the whole kind of big mouth stuff he says and all that. People have just made up their mind, don't like him and stuff. And I'm certainly not a fanboy either. I'm not somebody who loves him. I'm just saying from a realistic point of view and my own experience. So we'll see what happens. Tell me in the comments what you think, whether you agree or disagree. You might completely disagree with me, and that's fine. That's your opinion. But yeah, I'll maybe post this video when he wins the world championship back. Maybe another time, but we'll see. All right, I'll catch you on another video. Cheers, guys.